one of the main issues that have also come up is the NYS scandal. That's the latest details we're following up for you. There's been the back and forth, how much has been spent, how much has been lost, what it was used for, people claiming they were given money without actually supplying anything or even having their own companies. Let's cross over to Nandi Hills Member of Parliament, Alfred Keter. He's currently holding a press briefing on the same issue. Let's listen in.
Where government in a well had the intention of supporting the farmers. All the prices were subsidized prices because the current market price was not going to cover well for the farmers the cost of production. It is up to a tune of 1,300 for every bag. So even the story of telling us that there was no money lost, we want to confirm to you that a lot of billions of money has been lost because a subsidized price has the public money in it. You cannot subsidize unless you use public resources to give a subsidy. And we want to further note that this is a bigger scandal than you know. Even the National Cereals and Produce Board, what they are discussing at the moment is just a mere propaganda to raise issues touching on small traders who are used by the big fish, the real traders who are in government offices, who are sitting politicians, members of, some of them are members of parliament, some are in the high offices. All these people have managed to loot a lot of resources because even the bags they were supplying to National Cereals and Produce Board was subsidized. You must remember last year, the government, because of food insecurity, decided to give a subsidy to those who are importing maize. These are maize which were coming from Mexico, some were from Uganda, some were from Tanzania, and many other countries. They were in codowns in Nairobi, in Kisumu, in Eldoret, in Nakuru, in all over Kenya. So what they have done, they were benefiting from a subsidy of imported maize. Then now this year, they have decided to again go further to benefit from subsidized prices where farmers were meant to benefit from it, but they are the biggest beneficiaries. We want to say that it is very unfortunate. We know we have a list of some traders who were used. These are just small people who were used to supply the maize. We want the real culprits to be brought to book. It is important for even central bank, through the money laundering, to understand where the money went. Because one trader was paid over 650 million, having supplied 200,000 bags, which was said they were vetted, and it was passed. You know, you can't vet a farmer in Eldoret who is alleging to have over 5,000 acres of land, and then he wants to supply over 100,000 bags or 200,000 bags. It is immoral and very wrong, because any vetting, the big farmers in Eldoret are known. Some supplied, they were farmers in Nakuru, they became farmers in Kisumu, they are farmers in Eldoret, Kitale, all over the country they were supplying maize to National Cereals and Produce Board. And we have said even the MD who resigned over the weekend was, it is unfortunate because he was given pressure by those who are the real culprits. He must come back and tell us who are these people making calls for this maize to be received in all these National Cereals and Produce Board depots all over the country. Because the real farmers were not paid. We have talked about situations where even some religious organizations like Catholics and other denominations, where they are mavuno early this year and late last year, where most Christians were giving their mavuno in terms of bags of maize, up to a tune of thousands, about 4,000, 3,000, which was applied to National Cereal Produce Board, have never been paid. Up to date. Most farmers have their children now back home because they cannot afford to pay school fees. In Eldoret now, the economy is so bad because majority of the farmers who have been supporting the economy in Eldoret have no resources because they were not paid. These are the people now, they are languishing in poverty. Some of them might commit suicide because they have their children, they have supplied the maize, they can't access the maize because it is with National Cereal and Produce Board. They were not paid, and now they are reading news that criminals were paid. Criminals who purported to be farmers. And there is a story that being peddled that they were vetted and passed, that they were real farmers. I want to say that it is very unfortunate, even as a leader. And it is wrong because even as we speak now, this parliament has no capacity to oversight institutions. It was compromised by the executive for the same reasons that you are seeing now. The cartels are running this country at the moment. The cartels are running this country. They are running parliament. They are not running the situations in ministries. And I want to call upon His Excellency the President, who means well. He is sober and focused. But majority of that cabinet are made of people who should be in committee maximum prison. Majority of them. We have a lot of criminals. And I want to say that, criminals, we have to unite as a country. And I thank His Excellency, the President, and the Prime Minister for having thought of we should have an handshake so that we unite this country. Because most of these culprits, when they are now found with these issues, they run around and say, oh, my tribe, I'm being fought because I belong to a different tribe. We want to say all this, like when you see this situation of the maize scandal, the people who are managing National Cereals and Produce Board are from our tribe, the Kalenjin nation. The farmers who lost are from our tribe. The traders who are used are from our tribe. The big fish are from our tribe. It is very unfortunate. So there is nothing tribal about this issue. We must call a spade a spade. Let these people who are stealing from public resources must be brought to book, and Kenyans must be told, why are they free? And we know them. It is known even by farmers. They already know. When Tyrion raised these issues early this year, that criminals are supplying maize to depots of National Cereals and Produce Board. There are so many politicians who went around tarnishing his name, even alleging that he is part of the cartels. And it is now known, it is in public domain, that majority of those people who are accusing him are the real culprits, majority of them. And I want to say that it is high time the President must really take this issue serious, because even as we speak about this, myself, who became a chair of Labor and Social Welfare, where the National Youth Service falls under, we talked about the cartels. We are making sure that we should not become chairs of these committees because they are not ready to be for any oversight, because they were planning that immediately after they have their own puppets to run these committees, they will have their way in terms of stealing from the public resources. You know the issues of National Social and Security Fund, NSSF. We know the issues of National Youth Service. As we speak even now, looting is going on in National Youth Service. And I think even the President should intervene by giving a caretaker in that, the entire leadership of National Youth Service from the ministry. And most of these former CSS who are running there, most of them must step aside. Because as we speak now, we are losing. I talked about it in 2015, 2014. No one took me serious. They thought I was just opposing the Jubilee government because I was against it. They said I was being sponsored by dark forces. Now the dark forces are the ones who are running the show. We have to intervene in this thing. And now I'm called upon Parliament. And it is good that the Speaker has come out in public domain to say that this Parliament is failing. In his own words. He said, majority of members of Parliament are not serious about their work. Cabinet secretaries come and lecture committees. He said. So it is unfortunate. We're using about 30 billion to oversight national resources, but we are losing national resources at the expense of, we are part of the problem. Instead of solving the problems, we are part of the problem. So I want to say, I know they have accused me of so many things, trying to really kill the dream of Kenyans to have a Keter to fight against the corrupt cartels. I will continue, and I will not be cowered down by anybody. We are facing a lot of challenges because we spoke about these issues. And my only hope is with the president, who I believe is a clean person, who I believe is focused, he sympathizes with Kenyans. He needs to intervene now. Your Excellency, make a press conference. Give Kenyans hope. The farmers who are now back to their farms trying to plant for next year. It is a Jubilee agenda, among the 4 agendas, to have food security. We can only assure that we have food security if we promote and support farmers. It is unfortunate that by now, most farmers are demoralized. They are not ready to go back to the farms because the traders who are looting the economy, who are benefiting from all these subsidies, whether it is subsidies meant to import maize or subsidies meant to increase the prices for farmers to get a better pay, they are the ones who are benefiting. I want to say that it is very unfortunate because it does not trickle down to the farmers, and they are collapsing in their economy. The same way we saw one lady who died, who was a supplier of National Youth Service. This is a Kenya where the genuine contractors, the genuine suppliers of ministries don't get paid. They don't get access tenders, and they don't get if they were to succeed in getting a tender, but they don't get paid. But the thieves get paid. You've seen, there is one lady who died.